Buenas noches. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, I have this in English. Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This evening, the Cato Institute and the Friedman Prize are celebrating free speech. And I have the pleasure of introducing to you our keynote speaker. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox has earned a reputation for telling it like it is. By the way, Mr. President, when we were chatting earlier, I forgot to tell you that a certain presidential candidate sends his regards. Before the year 2000, when Vicente Fox was merely Governor Fox, one party in Mexico had inhabited the presidential palace for more than 7 decades. During those years, that party, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, the PRI, was synonymous with the Mexican state. It was a repressive political system where free speech was taboo, and any idea of messing with the status quo was, well, revolutionary. Candidate Fox tapped into a yearning for change, and in July 2000, Vicente Fox became President Fox. Mexico had begun modernizing in the 1990s, and even though President Fox overthrew what Mario Vargas Llosa later called the perfect dictatorship, he did not throw out what was working. Instead, he defended and deepened the reforms that were going in the right direction in Mexico. One of those was the process of economic integration in North America. Today, many sectors of the North American economy are the most competitive in the world. And this competitiveness is a direct result of deep industrial integration of Canada, the US, and Mexico. There are those who want to dismantle North American integration. I won't mention names. But President Fox remains an ardent defender of North American progress and an outspoken critic of protectionism. He is equally known for his warnings about the dangers of populism and the destructiveness of the US war on drugs. I still remember his criticisms of the Castro military dictatorship in Cuba during his presidency, something that no other Mexican president has had the courage to do before or since. So on a night when we're celebrating free speech, I think it's fitting that we have as our keynote speaker someone who both has free speech and isn't afraid to use it. Please join me in welcoming former Mexican President Vicente Fox.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches. Good night. Bon appétit. And let me start by referring myself to the Pedros, Roberto, which is here, Gil, that are attending us on our tables. And many of them back there in the kitchen. And many of them successful entrepreneurs. This city really would collapse without their contribution. So to them, my respect, my appreciation, my love. They are my heroes, same as my grandfather, Joe Fox, born in Cincinnati, Ohio, migrated to Mexico in 1895, looking for his American dream. So migration is a two-way street. Fortunately, he didn't find any walls. To them, to my paisanos, which have been offended, I tell them, like Santa Teresa, todo pasa, all things pass. Let nothing perturb you, nothing frighten you. God does not change. Patience achieves everything. If our ass is kicked out of here by our old friend and partner, don't worry. We will look for other friends and partners. We are a great nation. Freedom is the queen of all values, even over the rule of law. God created all men free and equal, as free that we can offend him, we can go against him, and he respects our freedom. Freedom, in the mind of the founding fathers, was also the land of the free, the land of equal opportunities to all. Freedom was their main dream. That's what Cato is doing an extremely marvelous contribution worldwide to places where freedom is not respected. Freedom, according to Milton Friedman, freedom of trade, not wars. Freedom in market economy. What a contrast with what is being proposed to this nation. Building wall is not for freedom. It comes from fear and isolation. We should be building bridges instead of walls. And by the way, bridges we will gladly pay for. Giving guns to everybody or putting the red button of the atomic bomb on a short fuse person is dangerous. This can kill. This can assassinate freedom and democracy. The leader USA, United States, the champion of freedom, the champion of free markets, the champion of trading, cannot abandon its responsibilities. The space will immediately be taken by others. That is what they are willing to get when this nation isolates in four walls. Compassionate, intelligent leaders are building the world we will see in the next 10 years. And this is the task. This is what leaders are for. This is compassion, commitment, and passion, sharing this great globe with 8,000 million people. It's the gift of God to all of us. Nobody can own it, not even building walls or borders. It's no joke. In this chair, the presidential chair of the United States must be occupied by that kind of leadership: compassion, firmness, and leadership, like we saw with President Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, Roosevelt, Reagan, Kennedy, migrants, all of them, migrants, their families, and together with migrants, with your families, with your migrant heritage, was built this great nation to lead the world and to keep it in peace and harmony and to work shoulder by shoulder with everybody else. This is a great nation. It already is. This is a successful economy. It already is. And this nation has taken out of poverty millions and millions and millions of families by investing, by creating jobs, by trading, by bringing in ideas, management, technology. This is the United States we know. This is the United States we love. This is the United States we want to stay partners with. Let me then say that United States is not only great, but we have a great future together. We do have a common menace from the East. They're growing pretty fast. They're keeping them with human talent, with technology, education. And it's forecasted by some that the shift will happen from the West to the East. And we must question ourselves that new leading, if it happens, will go under what values, under what beliefs, and what kind of leadership would they exercise? These questions can be solved today. These questions correspond to us. North America is the largest economic region in the world. We are three partners, and the three of us contribute. We're not the little guy on the backyard. We buy from this nation close to $500 million every year. This means over 10 million jobs for US citizens. Trading is a win-win situation. Isolating is a lose-lose situation. We must attend and bring NAFTA to do more for our three economies. We need the General Motors competitive. We need the Ford Motor Company, the Chrysler, the Googles, the Microsoft. We need them competitive. And the three nations have created these NAFTA corporations. And they have survived thanks to nourishing themselves with the competitiveness of each of the three nation economies. It would be pretty difficult to be on your own. So the firm values of liberty, freedom, and democracy are shared today throughout the world. We do have are exceptions. And all those exceptions have failed, like Venezuela's failing today, and Venezuela will kick out Presidente Maduro because he has destroyed the economy, he has destroyed liberties and democracy in that nation. Those young kids, like Lopez and the others, will accomplish what they are working for, and they will do it because of their belief in democracy. Latin America is ready to keep building a future. Latin America is working together with this great leading nation. And we, on this 21st century, will show that the lack of democracy and freedom on the 20th century, that having been all of us Latin American nations in hands of dictators, in hands of messianic leaders like the Evitas and the Perons, like the Kirchners, in hands of military, strong dictators, proved that is not the way to go. Fortunately, we got rid of all dictators, and today we live by democracy. And we will stay there, but we need to build together that world in harmony, that world in peace, that world that only in that circumstance can have every citizen do their very best. It's only in freedom, it's only in democracy where we perform at our very best. And finally, a word about the future. Mexico today is the strongest manufacturing cluster in the world, larger than all the rest of Latin America together. We have a very strong economy. We're moving towards knowledge economy. We want to stay being that solid partner, that solid friend of this great nation. This is our future. This is what we stand by, and this is what we believe. So be very wise, America. Wake up. We in Latin America have experience on the bad side of success all the 20th century. So we have the capacity to see the genius of those candidates. We have the capacity to see when somebody is talking soft, but it has authoritarian genius inside. Believe me that I am not just here looking for recognition. I am here because I'm highly worried. If that, what has been proposed, happens, things will get very tough. It's not fair to go against the establishment. You do what is in your hands to correct, to improve. It's not good to go against Wall Street. It's the best, the very best mechanism that free market economy has developed to share profits, to allocate profitably resources. 60 million families are shareholders in this nation. You cannot just destroy in trying to build your own candidacy. Please, I hope God illuminates this nation because we're very, very, very worried outside. And thank you for inviting me to this great dinner. Thanks to Cato and all the people that has worked with for extending freedom and democracy throughout the world. Let's keep building and not destroying. Gracias.